following along, you would have seen that we have been working on one of the coolest trucks that we have ever built, in my opinion. Project Green Bean sitting behind us, looking a little leaned out right now. So in our last video on this truck, we installed our front suspension lift, and today we're going to be getting into all of the finishing details on the build as well as the rear suspension, because there's no way that we are leaving this truck looking like that. That's not happening in here, okay? So go back, check out the other video on the front suspension. For those of you guys who don't know anything about the truck, it's a 2015. It is a 2500 four-door long bed. Of course, it's a 6-speed because we love our 6-speeds, but we went ahead and installed our front 6-inch striker kit on the front. It looks absolutely killer with the matching powder coat, with the color of this truck. So go back, check that out so you guys are caught up. But this is actually going to be probably the wrap up, the full build. You guys are going to see the entire finished product in this video, and we're going to get into the rear suspension because that's just not going to cut it. So before we get into that, before I show you guys the parts on the rear suspension, some of the other finishing product stuff that we're going to be doing, real quick, event season, show season is going to be coming up very soon, sooner than we actually expected to. So I want to give you guys a couple dates and a couple events that we are going to be at. That way you guys can plan ahead. If you guys want to come see us, come hang out, punch us in the face, say hello, whatever you want to do. Don't do that, actually. You're not allowed. I mean, we're going to hit you back for sure. But first event of the season, we will actually have Green Bean at Lone Star Throwdown. That's in Texas. That's at the end of February. From there, we are going to Blake Fitzgerald's event in Tennessee, which is going to be just a rowdy good time. We'll be doing burnouts with our buddy Zach. We should be dynoing the 05. We're entered in the heavy hitters class on the dyno, and then the opening ODSS season event in Florida. So Florida Truck Meet. So we got 3 bangers right in the beginning of the season. So highly recommend you guys come to all of those, or pick the ones that are closest to you. But all 3 of those are you like how I said 3? All 3 of those are going to be amazing. Anyway, those are the first couple events of the season. Check out the whole ODSS schedule, though. All of those events are going to be awesome. Anyway, let's get into Project Green Bean. Rear suspension. What we got going on here. So it's a 2500, so it is a coil rear suspension. So we've got coils, those are powder coated. We've got our rear factory sway bar that's powder coated. Of course, we got all the goodies powder coated. This is a bracket for the track bar. In the back, again, it's a 4-link truck with coil rear suspension. So we'll get into a little bit of the differences. Obviously, 3500s are leaf spring trucks. 2500s on these 4th gens are a 4-link and a coil setup. So we've got Fox 2.0 shocks that match the front suspension. Some of the other little finishing details, we've got 5th gen tail, like these. This has got to be, I cannot wait to put these in. I feel like it's going to take the truck to the next level. We've got our diff cover that's powder coated, that way everything matches. And really, one of the coolest things that we've never installed before, that I'm really excited to do on this truck. Again, this is a 4-link truck, so this is a Brothers Diesel Products 2500 4-link kit. And what that's going to do is actually going to replace the upper and lower control arm of this truck, again with these things are beef. These things are beef, and we're going to end up replacing the lower one with this long traction bar looking style bar as well. So these are going to bolt in. We're going to get into the install of these. That's going to be kind of like some of the meat on this video, but we're going to go ahead and get to work. We're going to drop all the factory suspension stuff. Most of it's actually already out of it, and start putting the new pieces in, and then install this Brothers Diesel product 2500 4-link. So our lean is gone. We are really happy about that. So the 6-inch striker kit in the rear of the 2500s uses the factory rear coils, which is nice because it's a nice strong coil. Uses a spacer on top of that, which you never see, which is really nice. So we also have our track bar bracket installed on the truck now. That's good to go. It's torqued down. Before we go ahead and put our track bar back on the truck, we do need to kind of start with the diff cover in and work our way out. We can't put our track bar back on until we get the diff cover on there. So diff cover, track bar, then we can go ahead and put our sway bar back on, and everything else in the back. So that's pretty much where we're at until we go ahead and do the diff cover. So we're gonna jump on the diff cover, and then we can kind of continue to go ahead and then really work our way towards the 4-link from Brothers Diesel Products. That's really what I'm excited to get to. It's really gonna complete the rest of the look and kind of tie into the front of the Striker kit. So really excited to get to that. So let's knock out the rest of the rear stuff, and then we'll get to that 4-link install. All right, so we got the rear end of the truck completely buttoned up, got our diff cover, got our rear track bar, and got our sway bar on the truck, so that's completely done. After that, decided to move to our 4-link kit on the truck. Want to go over some of the installation on that and kind of the way that it's designed. We've got this lower link pretty much done. So what we got here is on a factory 2500, this is your lower frame mount bolt, and that's going to go ahead and go to your lower axle bolt. You can see our top link is still in, but what this kit does is it eliminates this point right here and goes ahead and uses this bracket that they've made up, which is really nice. It attaches to the factory one and kind of bolts to this factory part of this axle right here, which is really, really nice. It's pretty much a drop-in kit. You do have to drill some holes, but it kind of ties in really nicely with the factory axle mounts, kind of gets everything positioned nicely, and then gives us a nice low, long, lower bar here, which gives it a really, really nice look. Super, super nice for suspension and just kind of tightening up the rear end of these 2500s. The factory control arms are like a rubber style bushing, so this being like a Heim joint with the lower link here should really like give it a really, really nice solid feeling. Not that the factory stuff is bad, but I would say that this will give it just a little bit more solid feedback and just perform a little bit better. So it does give it a super, super killer look having this lower bar length. We were after that. Everything installed really, really, really well. These bars are beefy, let me tell you what. So everything's going along really, really nicely. We did the lower one first. We kind of measured it out, made sure we had enough travel in our joints, and we'll go ahead and remove our top bar because they also give you in this kit, they give you a nice matching bar style top bar as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do that next, and we'll be kind of ready to set this thing up, get this thing torqued down back on the ground, and we'll show you guys kind of like the overall look. But it's a really unique kit. It kind of removes this mounting location on the frame, and gives it that nice extension there. So yeah, all there's left to do is to do it. So we're gonna go ahead and do the top bar, and we're gonna wrap this kit up. she is. We are all done, all set for the most part, and the rear suspension is completely done. As you guys could tell outside, even though we do live in Kentucky, the official Greg A weather report of this video is that it is miserable, it's terrible, it's cold, and we had a huge delay and a huge problem with getting some new rear shocks. So a little update throughout this video and kind of just a conclusion here at the end. The original shocks that we showed you guys, actually, we didn't even realize it when we were filming it, but the rear shocks shown in the beginning of the video didn't actually match the front shocks. They actually came out with a new updated design for the rear shocks that work with the suspension that we are doing, and you guys will see that in a couple clips here. But because of the weather, we waited and we overnighted these like last week so we could like get this done. So there's a little bit of a jump in time in the videos as well. And it really just comes down to down here, a little bit more in the southern states, if they get like a dusting, if there's even anything on the weather report that might be under 20 degrees, everybody freaks out. Nothing gets delivered, and shocks that were supposed to be here 6 days ago just got here. So we just got a chance to kind of wrap this thing up. But the new shocks, well worth the wait. They match the front. They've got the black reservoirs. They've got an updated reservoir kind of style, and they look absolutely killer. So insanely pumped with the way that everything turned out in the rear suspension. The Brothers Diesel Products 4-link kit looks killer. Such a tough look. As you guys can see, we got the rock lights on. We got everything buttoned up, looking absolutely killer. Love the look of this truck. It came out so good. So that is a wrap. We still need to kind of like clean the truck up and like wait for some nice weather to give you guys the full picture and the full justice. But we went ahead and got some new cab lights installed that weren't clear, so those kind of like match the whole blackout theme. We've got our Flight Fab tow hooks installed, just a lot of other miscellaneous details throughout. I'm not sure if we showed you guys, but obviously we got the Wrenchworks DB Auto rock lights installed on this bad boy. I believe we are at 17 or 18 with this, just like all the other normal trucks. 5th gen taillights, which I don't know if you guys have a 4th gen. The 5th gen taillights just absolutely set these things off. Looks so good. So whole package pretty much complete. If I had more than 2 thumbs, I would give it 17 thumbs, but 2 thumbs up in my book. This thing just looks so good. I cannot wait to see this thing rolling down the road when there's a little bit less of an ice slick going on out there. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. Go check out the guys over at Brothers Diesel Products. They are coming out with some really cool stuff for these newer trucks, so go check them out. Highly recommend it. Again, we're gonna get some drive time on that kit to see how it feels, but as far as installation goes, how it looks, how it integrates with the truck, again, just another 2 thumbs up in my opinion on that. So a little bit of a hold up with the rear shocks, but we're all set, we're all good, and we're kind of ready to kind of start using the truck, driving the truck, showing the truck off. I'm insanely excited for that step. So anyway, huge thank you, appreciate you guys. Hit the thumbs up button before you leave, subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you guys in the next video very soon. See ya.